Voting is such an amazing experience. It's such an empowering experience. And when we all work together by going to the voting house and honoring ourselves by choosing who we would like to choose based on policy versus what someone told you, it is so empowering. It is a lot of the time hard to get out of work. Although the way that the government sets it up, it is very easy to go in before you go to work, go at your lunchtime, or go after work, because the voting polls are open. They're open for a very long time, and we want to give a big shout out and thank you to all the pollsters, the poll workers who do their long day of effort and work to ensure that there's fair and free elections. In the United States of America, as a democracy, it is your right to choose. It is your right to choose. And as I am a little biased, as I am a Donald Trump supporter, I highly recommend that you run out and vote for Donald Trump, because democracy is at stake. The democracy of the freedom to walk into your grocery store without feeling fearful that you might get robbed or mugged by a group of ravaging savages who are stealing less than $900 worth of goods from the store. It's important to know that you must take a look at all of the issues and how they personally affect you. An open border affects everyone, whether you're in Montana, whether you are in Maine, or whether you are in Springfield, Ohio. It does not matter. What we want to remember currently is that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have worked diligently to create a border policy that suits the needs of the American people. The border policy that currently stands is that there is an open border policy so that the American people can suit the needs of the American people. So we are just so grateful for the hard work and effort that the lovely Kamala Harris, what a great smile. What a great personality and what a great laugh. And the way that she talks about possibility will literally run you out of your socks. As an American born, an American raised, an American traveled, I'm very familiar from coast to coast, from north to south, all areas of this country, and how much you all mean to me. Because together in a unified space, we become the United States of America. And with Donald Trump leading our country, we can become that great American country once again and figure out a plan that works for everyone. Enough of this. We are better than this. We are better than the yelling and the screaming and the other areas that just don't work. Because I too can live in the land of fantasy world, of delusion. And of course it's a better place to be. But that's just reality. And I feel free. A land from coast to coast, from north to south, from east to west. A place for fair elections is all that we ask. And if the world wants a Kamala Harris to speak in Hollywood terms and in word salad sentences, then that's just where the world has gone. And we've tried all our might to express and expose the lack of care that Hollywood and influencer, as well as Al Sharpton, has portrayed and developed in a narrative the way that he views the world. However, Al Sharpton never learned. He never went to high school. He never went to college. He was violent and abusive just as he is today. He hasn't changed much. An example of the Democratic Party, as I've known Al Sharpton for many, many years, I've watched him speak on stages, and every day it's the same thing. Consider that when you go to the voting poll, the voting house, you're mailing in your voting ballot. First, you want to ask yourself, are you American? And if you're not American and you're trying to vote, that's out of integrity and completely illegal. And whether you get caught or not, you will meet your maker and God will know. If you are a DEAD person voting and you are the one who is running the DEAD ballot, we all will just be very aware that that is out of integrity. And even though the person is DEAD and they want to vote, they cannot vote. And the true vote is who they want to vote for is Donald J. Trump. And they're all in unison yelling out, Trump, 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 Trump. Your family members are so hilarious, and they want to give you a shout out to tell you how much they miss you. Just remember, live your life and move on, and do not hang on to the past, because we are never going back. We are never going back. We are never going back. Remember when you go to the voting polls on November 5th, which is technically the technical date of voting, that Mona Van is not an American citizen and should not be voting. And neither is the woman from Legance. And neither is Bahia Prinsloo. And neither is George Clooney's so-called wife, who's Lebanese. So if you see them at the voting polls and they're standing next to Gary Vaynerchuk, you might want to question whether he is an American citizen, as he was born in Russia, not American. Because the future that we're moving into is a future of possibility, a form of possibility of something that you might not expect in the form of negative when it comes to Kamala Harris. We're never going back. We're never going back. We're never going back. We're not going back to free and fair elections. We're never going back to a life of freedom. We're never going back to the way we felt joy and happiness when a child was born. Interesting, the possibilities that come from the words that I've just spoken. That's on the campaign trail of Kamala Harris, as Coach Walls coaches you into giving him some more cheer. I'm not sure I really need any more cheer, Mr. Walls, but thank you so much. I really, really appreciate the uplift. And as far as Donald Trump, we're never going back. We are never going back. We are never going back to the negativity, the lack of education, the turmoil and the trouble that was created during the, shall I say it, the Obama administration. We are never going back to the Biden-Kamala administration where nobody felt safe. They just partied and acted as if they were joy and happiness while they all sang Kumbaya in a townhouse because they wanted to hang out with celebrities who used their platform to get the room under control. And that is the future with Kamala. With Donald, we have authentic conversation, a lot of work ahead of us, but it's worth the work if you do the work. And we're just grateful for Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance. And we are excited to see you as our 40